Hello, I'm Mark O'Keefe, founder of the Innovation Beehive, and we're continuing our series on leading in disrupted times. The first practice I'd like to talk to you about is leading in head. This is all about business management. It's about making decisions about costs, about resources, about people, about direction, and about strategy. But at the moment, with so many challenges in the environment and the economy, how do you make decisions and how do you lead in head? Well, Jim Collins, in his great book, Good to Great, talked about the Stockdale Paradox, and we are absolutely, as leaders, living through and experiencing the Stockdale Paradox. The Stockdale Paradox is based on the experiences of Jim Stockdale, who was a prisoner of war in the Vietnamese War, and later when he stood as Vice President of the United States, he was asked what advice would he give people who are living through horrific times. And he said, "You have to have faith that you'll prevail in the end, whilst at the same time confront the most brutal facts of your current reality." And in many ways, leaders who are leading in head at the moment are operating within this Stockdale paradox. They're having to confront the brutal facts of the economy, of resources, potentially making people redundant, changing their proposition for their customers in the short term, but also having to hold the desire and the belief and inspire people that we will go through this, move through the disruption, and emerge at the end successfully. And that is incredibly exhausting. But how do you make decisions when you are constantly going through this paradox and constantly being presented with new questions and new problems? Well, we like to use stimulus at the Innovation Beehive, and on this occasion for leading in head, we've taken our stimulus from World War II fighter pilots. When they went into battle, they practiced what's been known as the OODA Loop. They observed, orientated, decided, and acted. And we expect that leaders who will be successful due disruption will follow the OODA Loop. When you have to make a decision, observe the data and the information that's in front of you. See if any of the data has changed since the last time you viewed it. Orientate yourself against the new data. Try and understand why has this data changed, and also orientate your particular situation. Are there any unconscious biases? Are there any stories that you're telling yourself that might impact on your interpretation of the data? Once you've observed it, orientated, you're then able to make your decision, and you're then able to act upon your decision, knowing that the decision you make on Tuesday may have to change on Wednesday as new information and new data emerges, in which case you go round the OODA loop again, observe the new information, orientate yourself against it, make a decision and act. And how do you take your people with you when you potentially are having to constantly change your decisions? Our recommendation is the best way to use the OODA loop and to lead in head during these disrupted times is to be open and honest with your people about the framework you are following. Share the OODA loop, explain which sections you're going through, and orientate your decisions based on the OODA loop. That will help people build trust with you, understand your decisions may change, and have faith that you're making the right decisions based on the data you have moving us forward. So leading in head is the first practice of leading in disrupted times. It's about understanding the context of the Stockdale Paradox in which you are leading and using the OODA loop to transparently make your decisions. If you want to find out more about leading in disrupted times, download our white paper, which is in the link.